Hi David, how are you?
Good, thanks, Andy. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year to you. First week of January 2018, and we are playing at Vintage on Saturday. And I thought it might take this opportunity to share with the membership some updates that you might have for them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think this might be a forum, if it works, that we might get some more messages out to our members too. So, yeah, this Saturday, the first medal event for the 2018 season. And as you said, it's being held at Vintage. I think most will agree that the Vintage Club is a wonderful home for the Bangkok Wanderers. They provide a challenging golf course that's rarely in less than top condition.
That's good. I think we've been there now for about 8 or 9 years, and the relationship we have with them is fantastic. So
Yeah.
I also understand that we've got a new start time.
Yeah, we have. I think a lot of the members will have noticed that during the 2017 year, we came across a bit of traffic on the course. We had a few delays on the course, and we actually had a few delays at our start times. So the committee raised this with the Vintage Club, and the most workable solution that they were able to offer us is an earlier start time. So we've accepted that. So we've moved the start time from 7:30 a.m. to 7 a.m.
And that's off both T's 1 and T10?
T's 1 and T's 10, yes.
And with that 7 o'clock start time, what have we done about the registration time?
Yeah, right. Well, as you know, we've pretty strictly enforced the 30 minutes before first tee for registration, taking into account the earlier start time, and some of our players need their beauty sleep. We've decided to change the registration time to 6:45 a.m. So that means that players must be at the course not less than 15 minutes before the first tee time instead of 30 minutes.
Okay, a couple of things on that. First of all, it would be quite nice if people could get there before the deadline at 6:45, I'm guessing, because obviously we've got 40 odd people on Saturday. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, look, the start time or the registration time cut-off is not done because we just like policing people. It's done because the committee members who are there taking the money, making sure all the players are there on time, etc., have to prepare for their game as well. And so we put the 30-minute start, 30 minutes prior to the first tee time as our cut-off. Most of our players adhere to that. We don't have many problems with members being late, and I think the message has got out there. So probably as a trial, and with our fingers crossed, I think it's going to work. We've now decided to change that to 15 minutes. But again, as you said, a lot of players are there well before 6:30 anyway, so we'd appreciate if they can continue to do that.
One other point about Vintage early in the morning is that coming over that bridge and through the village, the earlier you get there, the easier it is to get through the market as well, which I think is really important to remember.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Even though they've got the heavy-duty bypass, I think that time of the morning through the village works pretty well. And as you said, though, if you get there 20 minutes later, it probably adds another 10 minutes onto your trip.
Okay. And one final thing is those going out to the 10th tee, just to remember that it's at least a 5-minute walk, plus maybe with your caddy, 10 minutes extra to get to the 10th rather than the first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so do as I said, don't leave it until 6:45 to get to the course. Get there as early as you can. They do have a breakfast at the course, and there's always people there to have a chat with. Even though we have pushed the start time to the registration time to 6:45, we're still going to strictly police it. So that means that if you're not at the course and registered by 6:45, you will be ineligible for major prizes. In other words, you'll be eligible for technical prizes only. Again, that disappoints all of us. I don't want to impose those penalties on people, and it's not fair for the rest of the players either. So please make sure you're there on time.
Great. And the last point, this 15-minute registration time is for Vintage only and 30 minutes for all our other events. Is that correct?
Stableford events, yeah. Just one more point. The Vintage Club has agreed to maintain the fees to the same as what we had last year. So green fees, caddy fees are the same as what you paid last year, no increase, which is probably somewhere you won't find that anywhere else in Bangkok.
Good. I think that's covered everything. The reason we wanted to do this today was so that get all the same information out to all the members in an easily digestible format, rather than people having to read through papers and documents that we know they don't read.
Well, we know they don't read them anyway. We just type them for fun.
So, on that happy note, I'll say goodbye, and I'll see you very early on Saturday morning.
Okay, thanks. See you.